Hey, thanks for joining me. Travis from the Knife Joker. Today coming at you with two new knives. Well, one model really. A Pena Knives X Series Diesel. So these X Series Diesel, designed by Pena Knives and produced by Reate Knives in China. These Diesel basically coming in two versions at this point. You can see the first version here, marble carbon fiber, PVD titanium, and a satin blade. See out this other version. Get these out. It comes in that magnetic box, which, gives it a nice feel. Easy to get in and out of the box, actually. Here's that other version, the two versions that have come out. I don't know if more versions are coming out or not. This being the carbon fiber PVD titanium with that PVD blade. Both these blades being Fuller M390. So there's the two versions of the new Pena Knives X Series Diesel. Let's take a closer look at these knives and check them out a little bit closer. See maybe some comparisons, some weights. I was initially looking at these diesels, well, all the Pena Knife diesels. I Googled them, seeing, they came, I guess, in different sizes, or I've seen some 3.5 inch Pena diesels, some 3 3/4 inch Pena diesels. I think some different sizes were listed online. These being a 3.25 inch blade. Let's confirm that right here. I usually like to just confirm it. Always get out the same tape measure. But yeah, these being that 3.25 inch blade. There's the overall size of the knife, about 8 inches. About 4.5 inch handle to work with there. These being full titanium frame lock flipper. You see that inlay overlay scale giving it that bolster lock. Take a quick deep look at one of these. You see no jimping on the flipper tab, just the correct shape for possibly light switch or push button. Worked really good either way. The detent on this Reate made knife is just really good. I mean, it works really well. You see the titanium backspacer they've used, giving you that lanyard hole there right in the back of the blade or handle. You see those full carbon fiber, marble carbon fiber scales, titanium screws, titanium clip. You see that marble carbon fiber, at least on this one, having that real tight grain. I'm sure every marble carbon fiber one will look slightly different. It's nice with that titanium backspacer. Gives it really a nice blue accent to the black titanium, the PVD titanium. This one having that satin blade, so you get a good look at Reate's work. Reate's grinds. You see that nice thick blade, that little thumb area. It is possible to choke up. I'd be pretty darn careful choking up. You can see my finger, I'm not even past the first knuckle and it's almost gonna cut. So yeah, I wouldn't go any further in there than that, truly. I would not, probably would not do it like that. Let's get a good look at this other side of the blade here. Maybe some more of the Reate work, the hand grinds, the hand finish job here. That nice coarse grind. I like the belt finish they do. And of course the edge sharpening, very consistent, nice and tight. Yeah, it's a nice deep hollow grind. I mean, you just feel that here in person with that thick spine. Pretty much diesel. Although it is 3.25 inch, so maybe a little bit smaller than maybe some of the other diesels. I mean, you can see here, my large, I have, I guess, well, if you watch my other videos, say large size hands. And there, the knife is in my large size hand, very tight. You know, the knife is not going anywhere at all with that back of the handle being shaped like that. And also the flipper tab coming down as that finger guard. I mean, just super tight. I mean, probably pretty hard to knock that out of my hand at this point, or I could work with it really hard. No, I haven't used one yet. Basically these just came in. Now, if you have a over large hand, you know, Reate's made some larger knives, so possibly not the knife for you. You know, if you have a medium-sized hand, absolutely would be spectacular knife to go with. Put these down. You know, maybe bring out a comparison knife, possibly comparison knife. You know, Reate has been known for pretty much bigger solid knives, like this Horizon C, a little bigger. All these knives just being solid, even the new diesel, just super solid. But you know, one of the criticisms of this Horizon C is, you know, it's kind of big. Another Horizon D here, you know, same size. Another big Reate knife. Had done that kind of similar back spacer before, which very popular. I missed it. I mean, I love it on this knife, and so it looks you know, it does look a little similar to this one. Similar look. Look at those side by side. Definitely a different back spacer. It wasn't meaning it's the same one or anything. It just reminded me of it. Well, I like them both. Well, once again, the Horizon D, big Reate knife. So, you know, Reate, then they came out with some more big knives, K1, big knife. And then, well, they had the K2, another even bigger knife, and the K3. So, another big old knife. And, well, here's the K4. Another big old knife. So, you know, they did come out with the jack and an even bigger knife. So, just kind of well, maybe a Reate history or whatever. Of course, this being a Pena design knife, and most people compare it to, the Pena diesel, and saying it's just a hair smaller. If you're a Reate person, you're gonna pay attention to these knives and possibly compare them too. So that's why I kind of brought out the other Reate comparison. I have to say the diesel shape, pretty darn comfortable, even in my large size hand. Just the overall, I don't know what it is. The name, is it just the inward connotation of the name diesel and how it makes you feel when you say, this thing's diesel, or I'm holding my diesel or carrying a diesel knife. Uh, Usually, I guess with trucks or whatever, a lot of power has something to do with a lot of power. So maybe just the name or the Pena name itself, if you know his knives or see his custom work, just absolutely wonderful. So, these being at the price point of $299 pretty much puts you into where, if you wanted a Pena custom and you couldn't afford it, or maybe you wanted a beater, something like that, it's makes it so much more available for the normal, say the normal person. Not all of us can afford a Pena custom knife, and, well, I'm one of them. Don't have a Pena custom diesel or any Pena custom knife in all reality, so I wish I did. And so now, well, I have one of each of these diesels in hand for probably less than the price of one Pena custom. So that's nice in itself, these being production knives. Just checking this detent compared to the other one. Most Reate consistency is pretty darn consistent. A little bit lighter of a blade, even though it's thick. That hollow grind, nice hollow grind. Let's see, I just started talking about the weight. Let's see the weight on one of these. I'm trying to get this whole Reate lineup out of the way. Maybe bring the scale in and see, what kind of weight are we talking about here? Bring one of these doggies in. So there we go. It's over 4 ounces, but under 5 ounces. Not too bad for a full titanium frame lock. Well, does that have that carbon fiber overlay, which makes that titanium piece a lot thinner. Let's check the other one. I'm sure it's going to be the same. Pretty much the same thing. What's the difference? Satin and marble carbon fiber. So yeah, right around, 4.9-ish ounces on these new Pena X diesels. Maybe bring in another side-by-side comparison of another knives. Maybe bring out another brand. If you're a Spyderco guy, that Spyderco Native, probably held a Native if you're a Spyderco fan. Native's, of course, going to be just a little smaller. It's a little under 3.25 ounces, so I don't really know why I'm doing the side by side. And we know, well, the Mannix is going to be probably a little bigger. It's a little bigger than 3.25, but for whatever reason, I thought it'd be fun to do a side-by-side comparison of these knives. Sometimes I do a side-by-side with the Mannix. Just feel like a lot of people held one. Same thing with the Native there. You can see it's kind of in between. Looks good beside him. It's a nice little lineup. That's for darn sure. Maybe bring out, well, since we're doing side-by-sides, some more side-by-sides. Maybe going crazy with the side-by-side comparisons today, but no, I thought it'd be fun to bring out some more Reates that are similar in size. That Mini Horizon D, it's pretty close to that Mini Horizon D in all reality. A little bit lighter, probably, than the Mini Horizon D. I thought, really, it's almost the same blade length as this Leon Ma Lanny. Maybe take a look at that. All these knives being real close to the same size. That Reate Wave, another knife, maybe just barely bigger, but get a little side-by-side of those four. Those knives are pretty darn close to the same size. Of course, they did make a smaller knife. You know, Reate had sort of been criticized for not having so many smaller knives, so as you can see, the lineup of smaller knives has grown, even with this Tashi T2500 being, well, a lot of people say too small, but well, if you only have a 2.5-inch law in your area, or you want to fit that in your fifth pocket, then it's not too small. You won't put any of these in your fifth pocket, but that'll go right in. So I don't know why they say it's too small. Well, not to get sidetracked, I like doing the comparison. This knife being a newer knife, it'll be compared against a lot of other knives. Wish I did have the Pena diesel here, the custom diesel, for a side-by-side comparison. Perhaps one day. Perhaps one day. Last side-by-side comparison, because I thought probably would be compared to this knife for sure. I think it already has been. Kind of compared it that way myself, and I was showing somebody else one of these in person, and he actually asked to see the Crossroads, side by side with it. And so here they are side by side, pretty similar. Kirby Lambert Crossroads, well, the Reate made knife by the Pena X diesel. They are a little bit similar. That Crossroads just being a little bigger. So if you have that large, extra large hand, you're probably gonna shoot for that Crossroads. If you have a large or medium sized hand, you might shoot for that diesel. Definitely a little bit different grinds, but pretty similar. This Crossroads is just set up for a bigger hand. There's a little more room here in this area to just throw your thumb into real sloppily when you're closing it. And overall on the handle, a little bit longer. Of course, the blade length is. This one's just a little bit tighter when you're putting your hand in here. That area is just a little bit smaller. You have to be a little more precise when you put your thumb in there to close it, but I mean, if you carry that knife for any length of time, it'll be second nature. So yeah, really great. Well, the diesel has been a great design for a while. It's not a new design, just a barely smaller version made with the quality, the Reate quality. Really happy came out with these. Gonna give a lot of people a chance to check out a diesel design. A lot of people a chance at $2.99 to check out a Reate made knife. And if you do, I'd probably say you're not going to be let down. You're going to get exactly what you think you're going to get. So that's my take on these diesel. You know, they once again just came out. Once again, I haven't used one. I haven't even EDC'd one yet. I just wanted to make a introduction. If you haven't seen them, come side by side comparison, blah, 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 blah. Thanks for joining me for the introduction of this Pena diesel. If you do like what you see, you can hit the subscribe button. Get some notifications if I make a new video. And if you want to see more about these, you check them out at theknifejoker.com. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one.